The final archive isn't buried, it's flying. For millennia, the Sky Choir has recorded history on the wind, in the lightning, in the silent language of migrating birds. Now their beacon is screaming a hurricane of data that could heal the world or shatter it. And two factions are racing to claim it: the United Sea and Sand, and a shadow order that believes this knowledge should never be sung, but silenced forever. We've seen the Bible through water and stone. Now get ready to see it written on the atmosphere. Imagine gospels in the aurora, prophecies in the jet stream, and a library that exists for 3 days at the peak of the world's tallest mountain. The trilogy completes. The full story of our planet is about to be told, and it will change what it means to be human, merfolk, or sandsinger. The gathering storm and the opposing force. The return to the Library of the Tides was not a celebration. It was a war council. Corellia presented the holographic planisphere, its silver network now pulsing erratically. Eliam's visage, projected via a singing stone communion pool, confirmed the worst. The atmospheric readings were spiking. The Sky Choir's beacon isn't a gentle call, it's a distress cry. A cycle is ending. Their archive, the Aerie of Zephyrs, manifests only at the convergence of celestial alignment and a perfect superstorm over the Himalayas. That convergence begins in 72 hours. If it is not met by the united song of all three choirs, the archive will not stabilize. It will discharge. Discharge? Finn asked, dread coiling in his stomach. A pulse of raw archetypal data. Eliam's voice crackled. It would overwrite the foundational frequencies of our world. It could retune the oceans into dead brine, fossilize the deserts into glass, or simply silence all complex thought. It is not malevolent, it is a failsafe. To prevent a corrupted choir from claiming the whole. But they were not the only listeners. Kale's deep-sea scouts reported ominous activity, a fleet of advanced, silent submersibles, marked with a stark symbol, a circle with a diagonal slash through a musical note. Oblivion's echo, a clandestine human order, descendants of medieval monks who'd glimpsed fragments of the truth and interpreted it as a planetary curse. Their dogma: the choirs were sundered for a reason. Unity is apocalypse. They've been waiting for this, Kale growled. They will not seek to sing. They will plant resonant bombs at the sacred sites, the library, the dry deep, and the Aerie to sever the connection permanently. They believe they are saving the world by preserving its ignorance. The race was on. A three-pronged mission: defense. Elder Maris and the warrior pods would fortify the library and the dry deep with sonic shields. Offense: Kale would lead a strike team to intercept and disable the Oblivion's echo fleet in the deep trenches. Ascension: Corellia, Finn, and a telepathically linked Eliam would journey to the roof of the world to find the storm chasers and sing the unifying song. Their transport? A creature from the deepest merfolk legends thought extinct, a sky whale. A gentle behemoth with vast, translucent fins that stored hydrogen, allowing it to breach not just the ocean's surface, but the very atmosphere, riding the jet streams in majestic, silent flight. The Aerie of Zephyrs and the Weavers of Light. The journey upward was a baptism of ice and fury. The sky whale, named Selene, surged through a monstrous super typhoon, her body channeling lightning harmlessly around her passengers, who were cocooned in protective gel bubbles. They broke through the cloud ceiling into a scene of impossible beauty. The peak of Mount Everest was sheathed not in snow, but in a swirling crystalline lattice of ice that hummed and sang. This was no static library. It was a living weather pattern given temporary, sublime form. And there, dancing within the lattice, were the storm chasers. They were neither solid nor gaseous, but beings of coherent plasma and intent, shaped like vast, elegant manta rays made of swirling cloud and captured starlight. Their leader, Zifra, manifested a face of swirling wind and lightning bolt eyes. "You are late and you are loud." Zifra's voice spoke directly into their minds, a chorus of 1,000 winds. The echo approaches, their machines scratch at the songlines below. The final canticle, the story of the planet's soul, must be sung now, or it will be shattered into noise for another 10 millennia. Zephyr showed them the Sky Choir's records. The Covenant of the Rainbow was not a promise, but a diagnostic report, a full-spectrum analysis of the post-tidal cleansing atmosphere, displayed beautifully. The Tower of Babel was not about language, but about frequency, an ancient, arrogant human machine that tried to broadcast a single, dominating song, threatening to drown out the other choirs, and was peacefully dispersed by a coordinated wind. Their sacred texts were living weather maps, showing the planet's emotional state, storms of grief, gentle zephyrs of joy, the high-pressure systems of conflict. "You are the weavers of light," Corelia realized, her mind expanding to comprehend it. "You don't just record history, you mediate the energy between the Earth's song and the sun's." "We are the chorus that translates stone and sea into sky," Zephyr confirmed. "But the instrument is damaged. The human cacophony, the deep tech threat, creates a dissonance that is tearing the melody apart. The final canticle is a healing song, but it requires all 3 voices, perfectly attuned. The threefold song and the Oblivion's gambit." As they prepared, the world below trembled. Kyle's team engaged Oblivion's echo in a silent, brutal war of sonics and depth charges in the Mariana Trench. In the Sinai, Elder Maris and Eliam's combined sonic shields held against subterranean boring machines, the desert itself rising like waves to defend its heart. But Oblivion's echo had a final gambit. Their flagship, the Silencer, surfaced directly beneath Selene the Sky Whale. It fired not a missile but a dissonant spike, a focused beam of chaotic, nullifying sound meant to unravel coherent frequencies. Selene screamed, a sound of pure agony. The crystalline Aerie flickered. Corelia, Finn, and Zephyr were thrown into disarray. "The song! I'm losing the thread!" Finn cried, clutching his head as the ancient harmonies in his mind were assaulted by static. On the planisphere hologram between them, the blue and gold networks began to dim. The silver network flared in panic. This was the pain point made manifest. The beauty of connection shattered by the fear of it. Corelia, looking at Selene's pain, at Zephyr's flickering form, and feeling the distant terror of her home, made a choice. Not of strategy, but of faith. She stopped trying to fight the dissonance. She opened her communication link to the library and the dry deep. "Eliam, Maris, stop shielding, stop fighting, sing! Sing the first note of your oldest story, not at the enemy, for the sky." A moment of desperate trust. Then, through the static, 2 voices surged. From the deep, the hymn of the first tide, a deep, rolling, nourishing bass. From the desert, the chant of the first seed, a steady, rhythmic, grounding tenor. They were weak, they were broken by distance and interference, but they were true. Zephyr, hearing them, blazed with sudden light. The foundation. Now, child of the sea, the melody. Corelia, drawing on every scroll, every story, every hope, sang the melody of the first current, a soaring, hopeful, fluid soprano line. Finn, his tech mind understanding, didn't sing a harmony. He sang the counterpoint. He sang the silence between the notes, the human capacity for wonder, for listening, for choosing peace. It was the missing element, the conscious listener that completes the art. The threefold song, plus the human counterpoint, wove together. It wasn't a weapon, it was an invitation. The beam from the silencer didn't explode, it was absorbed, transformed, and added as a poignant minor key variation to the grand theme, a testament to the struggle itself. The dissonant spike became part of the song. The silencer's crew, their minds awash in a beauty they sought to destroy, fell to their knees, not in defeat, but in awe. The cosmic library revealed, and the new mandate. Above Everest, the Aerie of Zephyrs dissolved not into chaos, but into a magnificent swirling vortex of light. It projected downward, connecting with beams from the sea and the desert. At the intersection, in the planet's upper atmosphere, the true cosmic library manifested for all to see, a fleeting, breathtaking constellation that told the complete story of Earth. It was not a Bible, it was a biography. A story of a living, conscious planet expressing itself through three magnificent interdependent systems: hydrological, geological, atmospheric. The sacred texts of each choir were simply chapters. The parables were maintenance manuals. The prophets were skilled technicians of resonance. The vision faded, but the connection held. A soft, planetary hum now underlaid all things, audible only to those who knew how to listen. The epilogue was one of quiet revolution. Oblivion's echo disbanded, its members becoming the first listeners, tasked with helping humanity hear the new, gentle hum and translate it into sustainable action. The Choir Masters' Council was formed. Coralia, sea, Elium, sand, Zephyr, sky, and Finn, humanity's listener. Their role: gentle stewardship, not control. The lost books were open to all. Humans with pure intent, guided by the listeners, could now visit the archives not to take, but to learn the eco-parables of resonant farming, harmonic energy, and weather reconciliation. Years later, Coralia, her braids now woven with myrrh ribbon, desert reed, and a strand of cloud silk, sits on a rock at a twilight shore. Finn, older, sits beside her. A human child and a young mer child play in the surf, building a sandcastle that channels water in perfect, laughing harmony. Above, the first stars emerge. The air hums softly. It's not a secret anymore, Finn says. No, Coralia smiles, watching the children. It's a lullaby, and everyone is finally learning the words. The camera pulls up, showing the interconnected world, vibrant oceans, greening deserts, balanced weather patterns singing softly in the cosmic dark. Not a finale, but a beautiful continuing beginning. End of trilogy.